Pikachu EX sadly fell from grace when Iron Hands rotated back in April, given it was a part of the Joltik box deck. But with more recent releases like Light Ball that increases the attack of any Pikachu EX it's attached to by 50 damage, maybe there's still a little juice left in the tank for our favorite mascot. So today I'm setting myself the challenge of building the ultimate Pikachu EX deck. But why this Pikachu, you may ask? Well, it only does 300 damage, and with the aforementioned Light Ball attached can do 350 damage, which only KOs basically everything in the game, except for Mega Venusaur. We don't talk about Venusaur. And although the challenge around this card is based on charging it up and continuing to attack with it, due to the fact that its Topaz Bolt attack discards 3 energy after using it, we do still have Joltik in the format, which, for a refresher, searches your deck for 2 Grass energy and 2 Lightning energy, attaching them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. And on top of that, we still have Crispin as well, which accelerates energy into play too, so we still have a lot of options when it comes to charging up our Pikachu. And in terms of recovering the discarded energy, we still have access to Magneton. By using its Overvolt Discharge ability, you can knock out your Magneton and attach 3 energy from your discard pile to any of your Lightning Pokemon, immediately charging Pikachu back up again. And I'm sure some of you veterans of the game would also be thinking of Sparkling Crystal as another option, given its effect of reducing the attack cost of any Terra Pokemon it's attached to by 1 energy, and Pikachu being a Terra Pokemon, essentially meaning all you need is 1 Crispin every single turn to fully charge up Pikachu again and again. But in a format where 300 HP Mega Pokemon are around, I would still say Light Ball is the preferred tool card of choice here. But don't get me wrong, there are still ways we can take KOs without Light Ball. For example, Gravity Mountain is something we could choose, and its ability to remove 30 HP from any Stage 2 Pokemon, but again, let's say you're playing against Lucario, that's not going to do anything. So Light Ball is still a better option overall. Either way, we'll definitely explore some more as we get into our first build. To begin, we're going to be adding 3 copies of Pikachu EX, 2 copies of the 70 HP Magnemite, and 2 copies of our Magneton. Of course, we've mentioned the Joltik, so 2 copies of that is going to go in as well, alongside 1 copy of Galvantula. Now, for those that don't know, this is an instant shoe-in for a Joltik box deck, as not only does its shocking web attack do 130 damage if you have a Lightning energy attached to it, but if your opponent's active Pokemon has an ability, it does 180. This can be very good into Crustle. Now, this is where you can see the angle we are going with, as I'm adding 2 copies of Mega Kangaskhan. But given it has a heavy retreat cost, we are definitely adding 2 Latias. Oh, and I'll also be adding 2 Fez. We want to make sure we have Kangaskhan and Fez out all the time, basically. I will also be adding 1 copy of Meowth to help find our Crispins a little bit better, and 1 copy of the black and white Zekrom, which has the Voltage Burst attack doing 130 damage and 50 more for each prize card your opponent has taken, meaning in the late game, this is an absolute monster. And moving on to supporters, I did mention Crispin. We're adding 4 copies of those to make sure we can see it all the time. I'll also be adding 4 copies of Lily for consistency, 3 copies of Boss's Orders to ensure we hit our targets, and 1 copy of Cyrano. Moving on to item cards, we're going to have 4 copies of Ultra Ball, 2 copies of Buddy Buddy Poffin to find our Joltiks and our Magnemite, and 2 copies of Switch. Now, with Latias, especially 2 of them, you might be thinking, why Switch? Well, essentially, after attacking with Pikachu and discarding energy, if you don't really have a Magneton ready to go, a Switch can be really good to get Kangaskhan back into the active to give you a little bit of extra draw. Moving on, I'm adding 2 copies of Poké Pad to help find the Magnetons a little easier as well, 2 copies of a Night Stretcher for recovery, and our A-Spec Unfair Stamp. Now, moving on to tools, we're going to be adding 3 copies of Light Ball. We want to be seeing this bad boy all the time, 1 copy of the aforementioned Gravity Mountain, and 1 Lively Stadium to help fix some damage modification numbers with the Dragon Bolt and the like. And for energy, it's simply 4 Metal, 4 Lightning, and 4 Grass energy, resulting in the list you're seeing on screen, which is a very Pikachu EX focused one. So let's see how this comes across in our testing. All right, first round of testing. Let's get going, baby. Do you know what? Funny enough, you'd think Lucario, assuming this is Lucario, is bad, but it's actually a pretty decent matchup. As I'll throw a Latias down and end my turn, because Pikachu can, if we get the Light Ball attached, 1-hit KO it. And because of our Resolute Heart ability, Lucario cannot 1-hit KO a Pikachu. Oh, by the way, I've completely forgotten this whole time to mention Resolute Heart and what it does, so I'll give you a brief over here. Basically, if it has full HP and is knocked out by an attack, it survives with 1 HP remaining. Now, this is an incredibly strong ability, except for the fact that you have Monkey Dory, you have Dragapult, you have Dusknoir in the format, so the reason I didn't really bring it up is because it can be very easily bypassed. However, in a deck that doesn't really have that, this can go a long way. What's scary, though, is we're playing against Okie Dokie. The baby okie dokie. All right, okay, just the typical PTCGL gives you the worst matchup for the first game type beat. If you watch my second channel, Following Decks, or my older videos on this channel where I did deckless videos, you would know this is a very common theme that seems to happen in PTCGL. You play a deck of a certain type, the first game you get is the one that hits you for weakness and usually the worst matchup you could think of. But the game's the game. Let's just see how this one unfolds. Because they could struggle to set up and we could punish them for that at the very least. I'm not really finding what I need. I need my Joltik, bro. I got to get Jolting up. There we go. That's the Joltik. Sweet. So let's get that. Let's get a Magnemite down as well. I will throw a Lightning, so we've already got a Lightning down, so that's probably smart. And we'll go for the Pikachu bench. We've got the Poké Pad as well, which feels kind of good. Crispin too. I like the boss. The boss is the one thing that's keeping me excited. So let's just go for a Jolting charge and get... I'll put Grass here, Grass Lightning here, and... I'll probably put, a Lightning on here so I can have a Crispin on the Kangaskhan. I think what I've got to do here is, if they bench any 2 prizes, target them, but mainly try and pivot with this Resolute Heart on the Pikachu and try and get some KOs early on, and hopefully that can get us... Effectively, we need to be taking 3 prize cards before they take 1. So it's a tall order, but given the nature of the Okie Dokie bricking, I think we can achieve it. As they do throw a Fighting Gong up after benching a Risky Ruins and getting a Tinglu. Ooh. Now, thankfully, Tinglu does not hit the Pikachu because it's Terra Pokemon. There's a Terra effect on Terra Pokemon for those that don't know. Again, wasn't really worth bringing up because it's not a really impactful type of effect, but it does prevent damage onto it from bench, so they can't do that. They can, however, go for a Venture Bomb, which they fail, so that's good. And you know what? I really am tempted to constantly bring up the fact that we're playing against a Tinglu Okie Dokie deck, of all things, for the first time in, history. But I won't. We're going to take this on, and we're going to beat it. That's what's going to happen. They can have their Tinglu. They have to discard a Stadium in order to use the Ground Crusher. Yes, it will take out the Joltik, but I want to target... unless I don't target the Okie Dokie just yet, because they haven't got Barbarical down, so they can't get the Okie Dokie going. So it might be better to do that next turn. Yeah. All right. Well, let's. I'm actually going to Crispin and probably just attack the Kangaskhan here. Yeah. So let's do that. We'll go for the Crispy Wispy. Get that charged up. I'm definitely going to also Ultra Ball and grab. Oh no, I've got Poké Pad. What am I talking about? Let's just get Magneton, so it's not going to be KO'd very quickly soon. And there's other options I need to consider as well. I could Crawl Arrow. Azul might be happy to see me do that one, that's for sure. I could also get a cheeky Meowth attack off for 60 damage, but that doesn't seem like it's a good idea. For now, I think I'm just going to go for my rapid fire combo and just take my single prize as well I can. And again, hope for a late game bench of a 2-prizer to get us ahead of the curve. I'm just trying to take advantage of the fact my opponent's low-key bricking. And we're playing a bit of an odd deck to start off with the testing. But we're testing. We're not trying to, we're not playing a tournament. We're just trying to get a vibe of the deck, not so much care about how the matchups fully go, or what the matchups are for that matter, as we take that into account when testing too. 'Tis the way of the deck builder. They are bricking. That's what I want to be seeing. Let's attach a metal here. We'll go for a Run Errand. There's a Light Ball. Might as well throw that on the Pikachu. And for now, I just kind of want to hold the hand. We've got Unfair Stamp. That feels good. So I'm just going to Cyrano, get a Fez, get a Zekrom. I think Fez is probably better overall. I mean, it's another fighting weak Pokemon, but everything I play is basically fighting weak. So, but even then, we do well into fighting decks. You got to trust me on that one. Unless they do get Barbarical down, then that's a bit of a problem. I'm more so talking Lucario. Oh, wow. 350 there. But you know what? Kangaskhan always hits the bigger numbers when it's on a single prizer. It never does it on the Megas, does it? That's fine. Switch here. I think so long as we get another KO off, even if they have the weakness with our Resolute Heart, we should be pretty good. They do bench another Okie Dokie though, and another Lunatone, not another Soul Rock. And it's a very long pause from my opponent, which means usually 2 things in my experience. They're heavily considering a certain play, or deciding between 2 lines, or are heavily considering conceding. Or there's the third option, which we don't have to talk about, which is they've closed the app on their phone, which therefore just leaves them AFK until, well, the game ends. Also, should I put my camera a little bit higher? Should I move this thing up? Why is it not moving? Hold on. Should I move this up here or something so you can see the cards underneath me? Maybe I'll do that when I notice the hand's getting massive, because the hand's getting pretty big right now. And we need to be seeing what's going on. Right, that's a pass. I am inclined to believe they are currently AFK now, but I also could be wrong. They could just have nothing in their hand, and I'm also fine with that. But look at this. The deck is functioning. It is actually working right now, which is a little bit gas. I can't lie. Well, there we go. Do you know what? I'm going to move the cam back down. It's only 2 or 3 Pokemon you're missing out on in the hand. And, I can always just show you that it's there if it really comes to it, deciding. I think it'd be fine. And I tell you what, boys and girls, I'm starting to think it is that third option, because they are not promoting either. I have a feeling the game is going to end very soon. And there you go. Opponent was inactive for too long. I had the first third prediction right. It is what it is. That's our first test. Felt pretty good. Let's see what the other game says. Oh, I do like a start like this one as well. Automatically getting the Joltik. That feels pretty nice. As we're playing against Avalugg. What the hell is this ladder, bro? We've got Okie Dokie and Avalugg. All right, sure thing, sure thing. Whatever, man. PDCGL on some kind of special treatment today, bro. Giving me these funky art decks. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more meta defining decks as we go. That said, they are setting up. They've got Trolley and they've got double Kyogre down. So for those who don't know, the Avalugg, I think, discards the top 6 card of your deck and does, is it 60 damage for each, is it each water energy? Is it 60 for each water energy? I think it is. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might be speaking too soon. This person is playing. I don't think this is any binder dropper. I think this is a decent player testing out a funky road deck. And one that is single prize, mind you. Something we do struggle a little bit against, given we don't have iron hands anymore. Maybe that's something I need to consider. But for now, I think we just try and fine tune where we can. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go into Latias. Let's get Joltik going. And this might be another situation where it's just attacking with Kangaskhan for the time being. That said, we do have a Crispin to work with here. So I'm going to go for a Crispin, get Metal and... Yes, Metal and Grass. We'll put the Grass onto the... Yeah, onto the Kang. And then I'm just going to Joltik charge here. Although I could have put Grass in hand, so I could Galvantula. I could have done that, actually. But we'll do this for now. And I'm hoping the Stamp... Okay, I've been really lucky with this opening hand. I will say that. Because this Stamp is going to go a long way. So, the Avalugg comes out. And it's six cards to your deck. 60 damage to each water. Yeah, okay, so I was right. They're going to bring up the Pikachu, which, by the way, we have Resolute Heart. So, they can't one-hit KO us. Maybe that's what they're looking for, just to try and do some damage. 240. But, of course, Resolute Heart will come in, preventing the KO. And I'm obviously just going to retreat to Kangaskhan. So, let's get you down. All right, cheeky top deck of Siren. I'll go for that, actually. We'll get ourselves another Pikachu and a Fez, as well as a Meowth. Let's throw this Pikachu down. I probably should attach this here so that I could pull off a Crispin play next turn if we need to. Run Errands coming in as we get Gravity Mountain, not really relevant here or relevant at all in this matchup. So I'm going to get rid of you and Poké Pad and get myself a Magneton, which I don't know if I should bench right now. That is low-key over benching. But my opponent's playing Avalugg, bro. What are they going to do? Disrupt my hand? They barely got one. Let's just take a KO and see where we go. Hey, anyone want to see me do a deep dive on Avalugg? Right, there's a Crispin coming in as they attach to Bergmite. I don't remember the last time I said that name. Probably when I played Legends Arceus, actually. Lana's coming in, which will give them another Avalugg again. Can they hit 300? They need to discard 5 energy off of the 6 in order to one-hit KO the Kang. Let's see if they do it. Oh, they did the 4. It's a whiff. Oh, that's a little bit painful, isn't it, mate? And it's a little bit on the painful side. Do you know what I should have done probably is maybe get another Kangaskhan down and just pivot between, you know? That is very true. Okay, let's get Magneton out. I could attack with this Pikachu. Oh, but then I just don't know if... Okay, so I should be getting a Metal and a Grass then, actually, or a Metal and a Lightning. I think I'm going to go one more time with Kangaskhan and say that they just don't have it in hand. Oh, but wait. No, they do. Okay, hold on. They have it with Kyogre, don't they? Yeah, okay. Do you know what? It's fine. I'll let him take out Pikachu then. I'll just go for the Pikachu KO. So we put a Metal here on the damaged Pikachu. I was going to come up with the French Pikachu. Oui. The fresh Pikachu. Sorry, mate. Didn't know you were from the ends. But because of my misplay, I'm going to come up with this one. I don't think it matters too much, if I'm honest, because I don't have any bench Pokemon to pivot around with anyway. So it's okay. They can take out Pikachu with Kyogre. I could get a Zekrom going, actually, if I want to. Well, I need I need one more Lightning discard pile to get Zekrom really going. So maybe I can't just yet. Yeah, this is a bit awkward playing around with single prizes, but I think Resolute Heart helps a lot in those matchups. So I'm just trying to fully utilize that ability in order to keep going, you know. There's another Avalugg. They are being consistent. You got to give it to them. Especially after that Larry, in comes a Riptide. I, for one, want to boss this Avalugg because the Kyogre is doing nothing right now, so the Kyogre is not a threat. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit weird now, huh? So let's go for a run errand here. I think it's definitely time to both Magneton and Stamp them. I think that's what we've got to do. So I'm going to get rid of a Fez and a Joltik, or a Magnemite probably. Get my Zekrom out like so. Play a Lively Stadium to give this a little bit more juice. Yeah, that means I've got to get 2 energy to KO this instead of 1. I could Crispin here. I don't know if I don't have any lightning energy left in deck, do I? I don't. I know that for a fact. So I'm also going to Poké Pad actually and get... Oh, where's my Galvantula? Okay, we've prized Galvantula. And I'm already considering cutting a Magneton. I feel like I'm only using one per game. So I don't... Depending on the test, I might go down a Magneton here. But we haven't got the Galvantula, right? So I think I saved my Crispin. I think I'm just going to go for an unfair stamp here. And then, yeah, I can... Boss. Okay, maybe I did this wrong. So I was supposed to Magneton, Meowth, and then Boss, but we got away with it, so it's fine. Oh, it's great when you're trying to test the deck and your misplays come into effect. But either way, let's Overvolt Discharge here. Get all our energy back. We want to put... I could just put it all on Pikachu, to be fair. But that seems a little all in, you know? I'd rather be attacking with Zekrom afterwards. Even though it does damage to itself, it's better than just constantly losing energy. So let's put this here, and this here. I can use the Stretcher to recover the lightning next turn or whenever a Pokemon eventually goes down. If not, I can attack with Kangaskhan afterwards. Okay, we've definitely got options. That's the most important thing. I'm going to throw Fez down now as well, give a little flip the script on top, and the deck is working. The deck is genuinely just working here. It's just a little on ice when it comes to these single prize matchups. But we'll go for a Topaz Bolt here. That will give us Zekrom access, so that's good. I forgot it discards the energy. They can't one-hit KO me, thanks to Resolute Heart. We're navigating it. We're navigating this, and that's all we can do. And they instantly, I was just taking a drink of me drink, and they instantly just get it. They've just got instant energy Avalugg. This is where you want them to do max damage, because it does nothing to me. And it's not. It's not max damage, sadly. Unfortunately, I don't have the heals for the Pikachu. We're not playing that kind of deck. In any case, I think now it's a matter of attacking with Zekrom. So let's get Zeki going. Get an energy here. That's good. Go for the manual retreat. I think... I don't need to be bossing up at this time. Yeah, Kyogre can do like, what, 60 damage to me? I'm doing 30 to myself. It's a total of 90. It's not that deep. I could Crispin. Let's have a Crispin and just see what's going on. So I could Crispin for... This does allow me to get another Pikachu attack off if it comes to it. Who knows? They could like Hero's Cape and Avalugg. Yeah, who knows, right? Let's just get the metal on the Pikachu. We've got the grass in hand. This would be great for Galvantula if it comes around. Although Galvantula's only doing 130. So mathematically, it's not adding up, really. Buddy Poff him. Okay. And they concede. Okay. Oh, wow, that was a difficult one. Those are both very weird games, but we do have some other tests to do, so let's just see how they unfold. Hopefully, it's against some more meta decks, which is indeed the case, as we did sadly take a loss to Slowking, get a win against a Mega Frostlass deck, and a win against the card that shall not be named Mega Venusaur. But there was something that just didn't feel right with this deck in testing. Although the results look really good, it always felt like you were playing on a knife's edge. And for me, I wanted something that felt more solid, more consistent in the long run. And so I'm going to make some pretty big changes, as I'm going to be cutting one copy of Pikachu EX, one copy of Magneton, both of our Buddy Poffins, as well as both of our Poké Pads, one copy of Crispin, our Unfair Stamp is going, alongside our Lively Stadium, as well as one Light Ball, our Cyrano, two copies of Lily, and one Switch, which by the way leaves room for 14 extra cards. And that's all for the Precious Trolley, the ace spec we're now going to be including, which of course searches your deck for any number of basic Pokemon and puts them onto your bench, making our Joltik box acceleration into our Pikachus a lot more reliable. And to ensure we find them, we will have Petrel, which is not too bad in this deck actually, because given it can just search your deck and find any trainer card, it can also find your Light Balls, which again makes it a lot more reliable, hence why reducing the Light Ball count to 2 was kind of a decent choice. And I'll also be adding 4 copies of Pokegear to help find our Crispins and Petrels a little bit better, as well as 2 copies of Red Card to accommodate for the loss of the Unfair Stamp, and I'm leaning into 2 a little bit greedily for the sake of the Alakazam matchup, but that might go down to 1. And I'll also be adding 2 copies of Area Zero Underdepths, as if you have a Pikachu at the start and a trolley, you can get a bunch of Pokemon out. And as our final option here, we're going to be adding a Tapu Koko EX, as its linked lightning attack does 60 damage plus 20 for each of your bench Pokemon, which is only buffed with Area Zero and Terra Pikachu, but more importantly, the fact that it can attack for 2 energy goes a very long way. But either way, this is going to be our Precious Trolley variant of the Pikachu EX deck. Will this be the list that we continue building upon, or will there be yet another change? Well, the only way to find out is by testing it, so let's get into it. Now, is this change too drastic? I don't know. Although, as I said, originally the first deck looked good, it just felt a little bit hot and cold, man. I wanted something with a little bit more ground, a little bit more solidarity, a little bit more predictability when it comes to opening up your first turn. I'm not saying, well, I hope I get Joltik off something somehow. So let's see as we play against Alakazam. Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, this is where hand disruption is going to be a big deal. And it's exactly why I played red cards. We will run with that. And yes, I could have included some missed energies, and I could include some missed energies, but it feels like the deck gets really weird at that point because Pikachu doesn't use it. And yes, you could do it on a Mega Kangaskhan, but in order for that to work against Alakazam, you need like 3 missed, and that's minimum. Nighttime Mine, though, that actually could get in the way of Pikachu because it is a Terra type. Oh, wow. This is actually going to be a very interesting one. Seems like we're playing against the Disruption Alakazam, the one that's won, I think it won Indianapolis, if I'm saying the correct term there. Okay, let's not try and get rid of too much energy now, but that switch could come a long way. Nah, we can lose the switch, I think. Yeah, we can lose the switch. We're going to get Meowth. And we're going to grab our Petrel to just trolley up and get going. So let's do that. Didn't even check the deck for Petrel because I don't need to because my aura will ensure that it is there. Thank you, good sir. That was definitely not cringe. Let's go to Joltik. Let's go for a Pikachu. And I might go for a Coco. No, is Coco... Coco could be decent. Yeah. It's a reliable attacker in the matchup. Resolute Heart's not doing too much considering that bypasses Resolute Heart with the Alakazam attack. So, you know, there's that. So let's go for a Joltik. Let's Jolting Charge and get 2 on... I think I'll just get the Coco and the Pikachu up. Yeah, that's fine. Not sure why they gave me the whole question emote. I don't know what that's all about. But it is what it is as they get another Nighttime Mine off and they will also Dawn. Yeah, that Nighttime is a bit of an issue, isn't it? Alakazam doing some work here. They will bench Dunsparce though, and another Dunsparce to draw, which they bench another Dunsparce with. And I'm curious, will they be getting Alakazam or are they bricking a little bit? Which is very odd for an Alakazam deck. I think they're bricking. Way, that's good for us, baby. All right, so we can attack with Coco. Thankfully, it is not affected by the mine. I can throw a lightning here and just instantly boss an Abra. Thank you very much. See you later, mate. 160 isn't anything to rave about, but this is early pressure. The Alakazam's bricking a little bit. Again, we still have access to red cards later on. Maybe we could pull it through with the red cards. I don't know. But with the amount of single prizes, man, it feels like I'm constantly battling through single prize decks, which is not ideal for Pikachu. I need to eventually come up with a solution to that and figure out how we're going to do that because the way Joltik Box did it before was Iron Hands. Iron Hands isn't around anymore, right? As we mentioned at the start. So how do we tackle that? I think we can get there. I think we will. As I said, I want to make sure the deck is in a position where I'm happy with it before I start teching in for likes of single prize matchups. I want to make sure I've got solid ground to stand on before I build on it, you know? And given the last deck felt a bit rocky and this one's brand new, I think just we'll get there. We'll get there. Either way, they have gone off to the races. They are ready to go. And I'm a little bit concerned, to be fair to you, because my hand isn't giving me the best of stuff. I mean, I could... they didn't attack? Oh, wow. Okay, I was fully expecting an attack and for me to be like, well, I've got a Pikachu and Alakazam. No, okay. What are you whiffing on, my friend? I don't even know. Right, so I'm going to get, controversially, I'm going to get a grass on this Joltik. That could backfire, I hope not. Haven't checked me prizes, but we're going to take a knockout there. Yes, it will draw them 2 more cards. But again, Galvantula does one-hit KO Alakazam because it hits 180 damage. It's a single prizer. It's going to matter a lot into this matchup, so I'm going to prioritize that as they do come up with an Abra. That's 2 prizes down. And again, in a single prize matchup, if you somehow get to 3 prizes and they're on 6 still, if they don't take a KO after that, just using basic mathematics, you could be attacking with a 2 prizer every single turn after that, as long as you get a KO. If they respond with a 1-hit KO, you will still win the game. So for me, that target is always that 3 to 2 prize range before they take a prize card. It's a lot to ask for though, isn't it? They have Telepathic Energy. They have their Fan on Alakazam and Sacred Ash coming through. The Fan doesn't matter too much. It will matter a little bit, I guess, with the Galvantula, but the Galvantula is probably getting KO'd. So if anything, it helps preserve an energy. Well, actually, no, Magneton, it would make a difference with Magneton. Oh, fun fact, by the way, the great thing about Magneton that I didn't bring up before is it could trigger red card, which is really cool, right? As your opponent could have 2 prizes remaining, and you'd be like, well, I'm going to blow up a Magneton now. I have red card online. I'm going to play red card, which is something your opponent has to think about, which is another level of skill required in order to beat you. So that's quite fun. It's not going to happen here, unfortunately, but my intention is to come up with a single prizer. If they end up taking up Alakazam, Kangaskhan after this, yeah, it could be serious trouble. But I guess in that case, it is what it is. They probably will as well, knowing them. They'll probably just boss up Kangaskhan. Next turn, having only one prize to take. Yeah, okay. So I should have had a bench spot for Magneton here so I could activate red card now, rather than hoping they haven't got a boss for next turn, which is like, it's like hoping the sun doesn't rise the next day with an Alakazam deck. In any case, I'll get the Magnemite down. I'll go for a run errand here. And okay, I'm just going to Petrel here for an Ultra Ball and get myself the Galvi. No, it's priced as well. What is it with Galvantula being priced every single game? What's going on? Sir, I have a complaint. Well, I guess that is what it is. Let's attach a lightning here so we can attack the Kang if it comes to it. And I'm just going to go for, I can't Topaz Bolt because I attached in the nighttime mine. No, I misplayed. Oh! Read your cards, boys. Read your cards and check your board states. Listen, if they boss Alakazam, it's a wrap anyway, bro. They do attach to Dunsparce. And I can't believe it. There's the boss. It's the Kang. Okay, it didn't matter. If anything, I saved my energy, right? Full copium, Shawnee boy. And you know what? I'm going to save you a little time here, as this game was a loss because of the misplays that I made. So let's just forget about it and go straight to the second test. I will say, though, that did feel relatively consistent. It did feel like it was hitting the beats it needed to hit. So, and what have we got here? It is the Pult. This is what we're talking about now. Hey, listen, it's the first time in a while I've been excited to match into a Pult, okay? We've had an Avalug. We had Okie Dokie, Alec. It's just been single prize trains, mate. Finally, a two-prizer. You know what I mean? Let's get Joltik. Let's go for the full combo, baby. We're going to try and get our Pikachus. Actually, to be fair, it might be smarter to go for a Coco instead. That's definitely a consideration. Considering I can just keep attacking with it. My hand's looking pretty okay. I'm not really too reliant on the Kang. Or do I want to bench another Pikachu, though? Maybe that's something I can get later on with the Magneton, because the way Dragapult's going to do this is they're obviously just going to ping damage on my Pikachu so they can avoid the Resolute Heart and eventually boss it. We want to be able to deal with that. So let's do this. Let's get a lightning up here. Let's go for a jolting charge, and I will charge up you, and you. So that way I don't have to attach to the Kangaskhan and be attacking with it. But if the Coco goes down, I can come up with the Kang and Fez and draw 5 cards. And we should, at that point, be finding Light Ball. And then maybe I can get a Magneton down. I'm seeing the game unfold before it happens. But you've got to think about these things, right? I will say, however, maybe I should have gone to Kang. Because if they whiff here and don't bench anything, I could have come up with Kang, tried to draw a little bit more, get a boss somehow. And just boss Cloak and take him out while they are still setting up. Cut them off at the heels, you know what I mean? There is an Energy Cloak. If it's a pass, this could be a very quick one. Boss coming in doesn't really matter, to be fair to you. Oh, no, it does. Right, because the Fighting Wings removes the Resolute Heart. Yeah, okay. Valid. Maybe I've got to respect this Moltres a little bit more. Let's see. We'll go for a gear. If we get the boss, I think we take out Cloak. Yeah, I think we do. Get them while they're ahead. There's no grass in hand, so I can't do a Galvantula. Yeah, okay, so you see the Coco's showing its worth, right? It genuinely is. I'm also tempted to throw a metal here. The Coco isn't going down next time. We know that. And this could go down to Moltres, so I'd rather have this open if we do want to attack with it. And the Pikachu we can always do later on. So, that's nice. A quick cut at the heels there for the Dreepy. Opponent bricking a little bit, but just struggling to survive as they go for a pad to get another Dreepy out. And I can't lie, this can sometimes be the Dragapult experience. I played Dragapult for a little bit, exploring it with a different kind of deck. And it wasn't too far off any typical Dragapult deck. And there were a few times I was getting this, and I was like, I'm not having fun here. Anyway, I'm waffling. They're going to go for a Crispin. They're going to Fighting Wings me here. And now I've got to deal with the Moltres. The Moltres has to go, blood. And in fact, I think I should do it with Galvantula and keep the Coco alive. Yeah, I mean, I've got access to it. We've got 2 red cards, so I don't have to worry about that. Let's go for Galvantula. You see what I mean in terms of consistency? It's just working. It's just being reliable. You know what I mean? I quite like the way this is going right now. Let's go for a Lily. And okay, nothing really great there, to be fair to you. A boss, though, is nice. Plus, we have the Metal and Petrel, so if they somehow pop off here with a Candy Pult, I can get Light Ball and instantly Oko Dragapult. Kind of want them to pull off the Dragapult just to see it happen, you know? The problem, though, is if they pull off the Candy Pult and Boss. That's just not going to happen, though, is it? Cloak, oh, they are so on their last legs as they go for a Recon Directive. Let's see if they got Lily. They did! Oh my god, you got to give it to them. They're holding on. They are holding on as they go for a Buddy Puffin to get a Badoo and a Dreepy. They're definitely just going to retreat here. I have to 100% boss Cloak. Zubat! This is exactly the deck I was working on. I was working on a Dragapult Crobat. but no, it wasn't really feeling too good for me. And my opponent, I think, might be experiencing the same problem. I've got the answer right here, baby. You can have your Dracloak on the bench all you want. But we're punishing them. We're punishing them for a slow setup. And that's what I like about this deck as well, is it's very, very aggressive. So it can heavily punish slow setups, which we are doing right now. All right, so I am going to throw a Metal on this Pikachu. It's just a lot easier to deal with. Let's boss up Dracloak here and just take it out with Shocking Web. 180 damage off a single prizer for 2 energy. I mean, you got to take it, right? Let's get another prize card. Crispin, that's decent. And we're just trying to stop Pult as much as we can. Next turn, though, I could definitely come in with a... oh, hold on. Because that Golbat fix any numbers? Well, can it? No, 70. It doesn't really fix numbers right now, but it can later. They could also, like, boss Pikachu and then ping it for 10 damage to bring it to 60. So that way they could take a 4-prize turn on Tapu Koko and Pikachu. Maybe that's something they might work towards, but they do need the boss for that one. Sorry, phone. You're not got my attention today. But no, it's a Lily. That's good. And this is where the switch will actually come into effect, because I do have one more boss. I could switch into Kangaskhan, draw 2, and find a boss. Take this bad boy out, and then I think that's just us winning the game, basically, at that point. Oh, although this Fez does change things a little bit, because that also could be boss for game. Unfair stamp. Right. We are not out of the woods. There's a Petrel. There's a gear. They will flip the script. Okay, so given this, I might have to take a little bit of a different route. I could gear and get the boss, and then we just boss Dracloak. They do need to get another Dreepy down, which they're not doing. I see the play they're working toward. I do see it. And they also get Watchtower. You got to give it to them. But we do have Petrel if we do want to get out of that. It's not great to have to play a supporter for that, but hey, it needs must, right? I, though, just want to get a boss off a Pokegear. if I could get a boss off of that, bro, we are talking, because then we just remove their only attacker. And I think we just win at that point, don't? Oh, but they item lock us, don't they? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Petrel now. I think... Oh, I've got to think this through, man. I've got to think this through, actually. They're probably going to boss and then Crobat KO these two. They're probably going to do that. Meaning I have Galvantula left, but Galvantula doesn't do enough damage to Oko Fezandipiti next turn. And I also have to go for a Crispin onto the Kang to try and stay alive. So it probably makes sense for me to just get Area 0, right? At least for next turn. Not now, because they could also bounce it again. I could also retreat into Pikachu and attack with Pikachu. But if they have the boss, it doesn't change anything. Yeah, no, what am I talking about? If they don't have boss, it's probably better for me to do this. Yeah, because then I could still have Coco. And then I could load up a bench and Coco for game. Okay, let's just take out the Galvantula. Feeling good, but this is Dragapult, and Dragapult does Dragapult things in that you could be literally 4 prizes ahead and it still win. So I just want to make sure I'm taking the best options I can. There is a Dracloak charged up as they go for their Recon Directive. They do need to, like, have the boss Dragapult to win, but I mean, you should have it, right? You've got Fez, you've got your Recon. We know you got Crobat because you found it beforehand. Well, there it is. What? Let's forget about that. We'll forget about that. That's I didn't have it. Are you talking about me and words? No, we're not together. We haven't seen each other for decades. But nonetheless, they red card me. Oh, maybe I should have done the yeah, I didn't think about the card. I should have played the Area 0. I do have Fez. Right, that's something. Do they have boss, though? They're holding out here a little bit. Hold on. No, they do. Why pause? Was that just for dramatic effect? Actually, thank you. What? You guys seeing the Fez? Wait, you're using this to ping the Fez? Oh, Nelly. Okay, so you're not KOing Fez. What are you doing? I thought they were going to go for the 4-prize turn, but they're deciding to ping the Fez for... I guess it makes sense because the turn afterwards, if I'm hand disrupted here enough, you could then definitely win next turn. But you could have bossed Coco, put 5 here and put 1 on the Fez, which still would get you there if I brick, because you're still banking on me bricking no matter what. Oh, especially with a Crobat. You know what I mean? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, that means they do get a KO on Fez. Right, okay. That makes a little bit more sense now. They already have the KO. I thought they were going to hit the Fez and hope for next turn. That would only give me access to Fez. Wait, unless they have another Crobat, they just win the game. Don't you dare. Do they? No, they don't. Okay. I got a bit scared that I should have played Area 0. I completely forgot about them carding me as the Pikachu does finally go down. And I'm being punished for not having a Magneton, bro. Also, that Watchtower. Not a fan. I will promote Kangaskhan anyway, in case we do get something off it. And it's a Petrel. Oh, I could also just like, I could just boss, but that does nothing for me. All right, okay. I do not feel good here. See, this is why Dragapult's the best deck in the format. You could literally be 4 prizes ahead and it still win. So what do I do? I probably... I can't even... Tapu Koko's just sitting there waiting to die, bro. All right, let's get Area 0, and we're just going to have to try and draw some cards. I mean, I would like to red card and boss. You know, boss this and red card, but this has just gone south so badly. So badly. Yeah, I lose. It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that. There's no way to avoid it. God, that actually sucks. That really sucks. Well, at the very least, our form did pick up, as we did get a win against Garchomp. And although we did lose to a Metang deck, we followed that with a win against a Lucario, a surprisingly good matchup for us. Now, although that is a negative record, a lot of it was mainly down to my own misplays. The feel of the deck was actually pretty good. And so with a little bit of fine-tuning, we can maybe get some better results. As I'm going to be cutting one Fezandipiti and one Ultra Ball to make room for two interesting cards. The first being Energy Recycler. Now, one thing I definitely recognized in this deck is we was running out of juice towards the end of the game. Even after using a Magneton, we still want to make sure our Crispins do hit, and so Energy Recycler helps a lot with that. And for the sake of having one extra deck slot, we're going to throw in a cheeky Ace Eroder's Mischief. This card could effectively just get us a game win. I don't know. It's all up in the air. I just want to explore it, so I'm going to throw it in the list, and this, of course, is the very list you can see that we are going to be testing. So let's get straight into it and see if that Ace Eroder comes into play, or the Recycler. Who knows? Oh, it's the Petrel. This is very winnable. You see, these are the decks I want to be seeing, not just Alakazam every single game or some random single prize deck. Petrel is the real deal, right? It got a pretty, I think a few Petrel decks got day 2 in the Turin event. One pretty high up. I think Petrel is a real deck. So this is going to be a genuine test here, and I like that. So let's go for a Pikachu. Honestly, I am feeling the double Pikachu here. I am genuinely feeling that right now. I could also Magnemite and just like full send it. Oh, I got hiccups. I forgot to mention I've got hiccups, by the way. that must have caught you completely off guard. Yeah, okay, let's get the Latias 2 then. And I've got one in hand, but it thins out the deck. And I won't apologize for my hiccups. It's not like I chose them, you know what I mean? Let's go for this. Ooh, Area 0. Not useful now, though. I will say I like my hand. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Crispin. And oh my god, I've got like no metal energy in the deck. What the heck? I've priced 3 metal? Well, that's the challenge for today then, I guess. Sure. I'm sure we'll figure that out. The odds of us getting one is pretty high. So we'll do this. We'll throw I didn't count my lightning and grass, but that's fine. I'll just go for a jolting charge. I know it's enough. Okay, so yeah, one less grass. We'll put grass here, lightning here, lightning here. Petrel will get us the light ball. So if we see a Petrel, it is as good as gone, baby. And they conceded. For God's sake. They got scared. I won't include this as an official test, all right? It is what it is. We'll go to the next one. And just like that, we have the Kangaskhan. We had that. What was that? English? What was that? The Kangahang? All right, sure thing, Sean. It's been a long day, okay? Cut me some slack. I've got hiccups. My body is just like falling apart right now, all right? All I want to do is play some Pikachu, bro. But I'm liking the opener. That's what I'm talking about. Am I going first or second? I am going second. That's even better. We get a mulligan of 2. I see a Clefairy. Oh, we are looking Gucci. So although we've seen this deck struggle a little bit more recently, you know, into the Dragapult, which that was like, I think a lot more of the losses that we've seen recently are definitely down to me misplaying over anything else. I think that Dragapult was very winnable if I just played it right. And the Alakazam is just a bad single prize matchup. And we've got another single prize. Okay, I thought the Clefairy would be great, but we're playing against the first place Trevenant deck. Single prizes are really up there right now, aren't they? Yeah, all right. Even my body agrees with me. I have to respect them. I need to make a change, bro. I need to include something that can deal with single prizes, bro. There's just way too many. All right, let's do this. At least we get to pull off our Area 0 Underdepths play. That's fun. We've got a Joltik, we've got a Petrel, and I'm going to get every Pokemon in existence out. No, I'm not, because I've prized my trolley. That does happen, so we're just going to have to run with it. I'm going to get rid of Petrel. Meowth is definitely going to be used next turn, that's for sure. I'll also go for a run errand here. Maybe I should have run errand first, but I think that's fine. Allow me to retreat, as I will attach a Lightning and then go for Jolting Charge. And we have also prized, oh my god, we've also prized 2 grass. Literally the worst pricing ever. Just prize 2 grass energy. Make sure I have one in my hand, and also prize the trolley while you're at it. Yeah, sure thing. Thank you, game. Well, if there's ever a time for adversity, it's this time. We're playing a single prize matchup. Prize the trolley and also prize 2 in it. It's literally like worst case scenario. But we're gonna fight. We're gonna push through. We're going to, like the USA say in their football chants, fight and win as they attach a band to the Phantom, which of course will allow him to do some cheeky shenanigans. As I grab a dub wall and my hiccups still keep on going. They attach to the Trevenant. It's a Miss Energy, but that's not going to be too relevant here. They're obviously just going to Phantom KO me right now. I, for one, need to figure out what to do. They definitely can't OHKO my Kangaskhan. I know that. Well, they hit heads. They do hit heads because Phantom always does. I know I'm getting bitter. I know I'm getting bitter and I'm dropping these sly, rude comments. But it's just been single prize mania today. I'm sitting here looking for the big boys. I'm looking for some mega starmies. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the big boys. They're just not showing up. Everyone's on the single prize train, which I'm not actually against. I kind of like that. But not today when I'm playing Topaz Ball Pikachu. Right. Hello, Recycler. Nice to see you. Do I just boss here? Or do I kind of have to, don't I? I'm just going to boss this up. You're not knocking out my Kang. It ain't happening. Your max damage output's 220, bro. I know that. You can knock out a Latias, fine. You ain't knocking out my Kang, and I'm going to red card you, and that's where it's going to come into play, okay? And by Lord, give me a grass energy. Just give me something. There we go. We'll take it. Now, again, what's going to be relevant in this matchup is the Resolute Heart. So I definitely need to try and work with that. The only issue is it's just the big whiff on that Joltik, bro. Like, if I pulled off that Joltik properly, would have a lot more reliability of energy use right now, especially with a bunch of Crispin. But now it feels like I'm a little bit on the edge. You know, I don't like being on the edge like this. This was the very problem I was having with that first build of the deck, which you didn't see, to be fair to you. And to be fair, looking at the live games, you'd probably think the first deck is the best one out of the lot. But in my extra games and testing, it's strange. These Petrel builds have just been a lot better. And I still have confidence in this build. I really do. But you got to trust me. You just got to trust me and my intuition here, I guess, because I'm having faith in that. And in realizing now that if I've got the solid board state, the solid foundation for the deck. If I just have an out to single prizes that I can help with, then maybe this could really turn. Right, they're only doing 90. It still works out mathematically, to be fair, for him to knock out Kangaskhan next turn. So, do I just Crispin onto I've just got to Crispin onto Pikachu, bro. I've just got to Crispin onto Pika. Like, if I draw a Lightning, I can't Crispin. It's just a wrap, bro. Let's throw this here. Let's get Lightning on. Let's go for a run errand and see what we get. There's the Metal Light Ball. Not really relevant here, as it seems to have been this whole video. We'll get there. But I'm just going to go for a rapid fire combo. Yes, they will cram me, but hopefully we can get somewhere here. Maybe the Resolute Heart could go a really long way, to be fair. Bear in mind, we have taken 3 prizes already, you know? They are going to take 3. I attach this. I go for that. I need now to seriously get Magneton down. And I think we could pull something through here for sure. Just got to get a little bit lucky. There's a Phantom, or 2 Phantoms, should I say. They could be bricking. They could be bricking, actually. Oh, there we go. Night Stretcher. See, even my body was like, no, not bricking. What are you talking about? They got a Night Stretcher ready to go. There's the Trev, and that will indeed be a KO on the Kangaskhan. I mean, they got 2 prizes to take. Red card is online, so I have to find red card as well. I need to do a lot, man. I need to do a lot. I need to find a red card, and I also need to get Magneton down. Okay, there's... Oh, okay. Thank you for the top deck. That was absolutely gorgeous. Now, I think getting Kang in play here is actually fine, because if they got boss for game, it's going to be on Latias, so I can do that. I can also recycle energy, a bunch of energy back into the deck, because wow, thank you, get away into the deck again. And if that's the case, if I already have an attacker now, and I have Magnemite if I need it, it's probably best for me to not card them now? Or is it? It's difficult, right? No, I think card has more value here, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna Meowth. I'm gonna Meowth for Petrel anyway, and just take a little bit more time to think. Acerola won't work here. I'm going to cut Acerola. It's just done nothing for me so far. I know it's like the first time I'm using it, but if single prize decks are this popular, Acerola just can't be the choice. I'm starting to like doubt myself already. I could Petrel red card knockout. We know that the Cram is going to be offline. If they don't get a swing into me, I could... but the thing is, I'm a little worried though of not having an attack next turn. I can with Coco, but I'd have to find it. Do you know what? I'm gonna Petrel for a card here. I think I am. If they have boss, it is boss and a Trevenant is basically GG, so I need to just make sure that's not a thing. Let's just card them, unless I card them into a boss, at which point that is GG. Topaz Bolt, let's go for it. They're going to swing into me. What I can do next turn is I can definitely get Zekrom out. I can Coco. The annoying thing about Magneton is it can't accelerate to a Kangaskhan. I would much rather a Kangaskhan next turn, which is why I was heavily debating between Crispin and the Acerola there. So not Acerola, what am I talking about? The oh, my brain. The Petrel, that's the one. Yeah. All right, well, they're doing 70 to me. I could be very greedy and get a Joltik and just attack with Joltik, you know? Maybe boss up this, attack with Joltik and... Oh, hold on. Now, I would have to probably boss up that Trevenant in order to get the best win com. So what if I do that instead? Okay, hold on for a second. We might be onto something here. Let's just get a no, not lightning. So let's get a Joltik back. Let's throw this down. Now I know we have an abundance of metal and grass is our problem. So we go into this. We retreat here. They've got a bricked hand. We boss up this, right? And then we just go for another Joltik charge. Could also Galvantula. Oh, no, I don't have the energy for that. But Joltik charge. Honestly, I don't mind just putting 2 lightning on the Kang. Well, sometimes you might just need to get a 1-hit KO with Pikachu. And do we have energy in hand? It's a grass. Yeah, all right, that's fine. I'll just attach the grass next turn. Okay, so next turn would be the best scenario would be to get a boss on that Trevenant if we can find it. Oh, that's kind of changed a bit now, though, because they've got Poké Pad, which will find them another Trevenant anyway. But if I can attack with Wooloo, okay, I've got to boss that then. It's as simple as that. If I take a KO, it's got to be on Wooloo. They will attach to the Snorlax, and they didn't bench the Wooloo? Brother, you're nuts. Are you crazy? Why are you not benching? Oh my God, they didn't bench Wooloo. Okay. I guess they're worried about me bossing it, but then it's like, if I knock out Snorlax here, right? Oh, wait, no. Is it correct to... I don't know. All right, let's go into... Let's just draw some cards here. Let's do this. I want to find the boss. I want to boss the Trevenant. They are bricking. To be fair, this actually makes it a bit easier now to just take a KO because the odds of them having boss on this for game are very low. So do I just take the KO here? The point is, the more turns I wait, the more odds they have for boss. Even if I boss this up, they could draw into more. I've got to punish them, I think. I think that's what I got to do. Let's Crispin as well and get a metal in hand. Sure thing, whatever. Let's just go for the rapid fire combo. We've had that one turn, which is actually making this doable. And finally, I feel like the deck is now showing you what it can do, which is what we've been missing this whole video because of some unfortunate matchups and because of my misplays. So there we go. Precious Trolley also showing the deck can work. Okay, come on. Like, we prized Trolley. We had the worst pricing, and we genuinely could be beating this Trevenant deck, which just won a special event in Turin. If this doesn't show to you that this deck can first off work without a Trolley, you know, a lot of people probably think, well, if you don't Trolley, you lose. Wrong, but still has some gas into single prize decks so long as things go your way. Now, that's why I'm going to be making changes to ensure that we can have a better run into the single prizes, because you don't want to rely on things going your way to get a win and being a bit tricky with things. Nonetheless, I don't want to get carried away because I still don't have the guaranteed out to boss here for game. They could flip heads here. It's a heads. Why does it always get heads when it needs it? That's the thing with Phantom. It always gets there. Right. Yeah, okay. Right then, Zekrom top deck. I have to dream here, baby. Let's get rid of these 2. Not needed anymore. I could 100%. I could retreat. I can't Galvantula. I could pull off a Magneton if I want to. And there is a case for doing that if things don't go well here. But I need a boss. No boss. I mean, we saw the no boss coming, didn't we? Right. This has now taken a bit of a turn. However, I think we're fine. Oh no, we're not fine. If they get the double, we're not fine. Oh no, if they do, we're fine. Okay, I just have to not take a KO. It's as simple as that. Sure. Let me evolve into Galvantula. It's got 1 retreat cost. It's fine. Attach a metal here, and then just Lily. Yeah, they can't do the damage output if I don't take the KO. And there's the boss. Okay, so yeah, I just pass here. If they get a best boss in it, they can't hit 130 damage. They just can't. The max they can do is 120 with the horrifying revenge, unless they pull off a corner. They could pull off a corner. They could definitely attach and boss and then choice band for game, but they do need the energy, they do need the band, and they do need the gust. They need 3 cards in order to win the game next turn. I just need to pass with this boss in my hand. There's a Petrel, so that's not going to be a boss. They have to then try and hit 230. I don't think that's happening. They get Secret Box. That could do a lot for them next turn. But I think we get away with it. I think we've managed to catch them on a brick and somehow pull it through. They did have boss in hand. Unless I'm missing something glaringly obvious. I'm clearly not, right? This can't be KO'd. They could, to be fair, they could KO something like a Galvantula or a Magneton for that matter. Like, that's definitely possible, but that's about as far as it goes, I think. I think their game plan is to just hope that Splashing Dodge sticks, right? And I don't have a boss, but obviously I do. They could also card me again, though. Again. Oh, wait. No, this Trevenant doesn't even play Hand Disruption. It doesn't play any card. And just like that, Phantom obviously does have the way and flip heads. But it doesn't matter. We've got the boss, and we have just about beat Trevenant. Oh my God. I guarantee you thought that wasn't going to happen if I told you this was the matchup. But that's the Pokemon trading card, baby. Trading card game, actually. Sean. It's a dub. Looking good. Deck's feeling good. Just a little bit more testing, and I think I've got to make some changes for single prizes. Now, because the game we just had was quite a long one, albeit a good one, one. To save time, I'll just tell you now that we did win the other live gaming testing, which was actually against the Dragapult Blaziken. And what's more is we won again against Dragapult just afterwards, as well as winning against a Doublade deck and a Mega Greninja deck, finally proving that this build is indeed the real deal. But single prizes were still a huge problem, and so I needed to make space to allow for cards that help into them, meaning I'm going to be very bold and make the following changes. As I will be cutting the Acerola's Mischief, it's just something I'm not going to keep. I need the space. And also 4 copies of our Pokegear, 2 copies of Petrel, and you'll see where I'm going with this one, don't worry, 1 copy of our red card, a Metal Energy, and a Grass Energy, alongside Tapu Koko. See you later, my friend. As I am adding 1 extra copy of Meowth. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I realized I was wasting a lot of deck space on finding our Petrel turn 2. But for me, I wanted to try something else out. I wanted to see if all I need to do is Ultra Ball the Meowth to get the Petrel, does that actually work out better for us? As that does free up extra deck slots, which does mean, by the way, we are going to go up to 4 copies of Ultra Ball to ensure we can find our Meowth turn 2. And with our additional deck spots, we can add more interesting cards like Energy Search to ensure that if we do get a Petrel, we can at least find an energy with it if we want to. And I'll also return a copy of Poké Pad again to turn Petrel into a Magneton. But to prevent over-reliance on the Petrel, given we have cut down, I'm adding 2 copies of Lily back into the deck, alongside 1 more copy of Crispin. And this, my friends, is where things start to get more interesting, as I'm going to be adding 1 copy of Terapagos and 1 copy of Wellspring Ogerpon, meaning our last 2 inclusions are, of course, going to be Water Energy. Now, the reason for this choice was, again, to have more options, with the Ogerpon having its Torrential Pump, which can be a huge deal into single-price decks, and with Terapagos, you can actually use its Crown Opal attack, which simply reads, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic non-colorless Pokemon. This can essentially give you almost auto wins into decks like Raging Bolt, and this is all achievable by just simply adding 2 Water Energy, which again I hope can explain why I've added an extra copy of Crispin, just to make it a lot more findable. But nonetheless, this is the deck you're seeing now, and yes, it's becoming a little bit more toolboxy, but the heart of the deck is still Pikachu. We still have the 2 Pikachu, we still have the 2 Light Ball. I just wanted additional options if Pikachu wasn't doing it for us. So let's get into some games and see if that actually comes to fruition. All right, starting off here, I know we're playing against a Zoroark because I literally just played this guy and he scooped on me instantly. So for those that don't know, I don't always include games where they just instantly scoop on me or I get an instant win because that's not a valid test. So I know who this Donnie is. And they're a scooper. All right, I'm actually going to get rid of Energy Search. I think the Magnemite makes more sense because we are going first here. I want to go for Kangaskhan and Crispin instead of a Joltik's attachment because, you know, you don't go second, Joltik bots can struggle. So the Crispin is even more important. Let's go for an end turn here, and hopefully we can just start adding pressure with the Crispin, maybe get a bit of a better setup. We'll have to wait and see. No use of the Ogerpon, the Wellspring. When I actually did play them before where they scooped instantly, it's because I instantly got... Oh, wait, they're playing a different deck. They decided not to play the Zoroark. I know it's them because it's the sleeves and the name. I remember that exactly. So they changed deck. All right, they're playing that Zoroark. I went, nope, we're switching to another one. All right, let's just make sure I do this properly. I think that water can go a long way. The grass, I only need 2 grass. We can do this. That's fine. That's fine. We'll pop this off, get this going, and maybe we get heads. That'd be kind of nice. Definitely won't be throwing Magnemite down because that can be a bit of a liability with the Zacian. So we'll just rapid fire combo. If we get heads, that'd be nice. Do we get it? We do! Lovely. Maybe Kangaskhan can carry us for this one. That would be quite nice. Yes, as I was saying, they were playing a Zoroark deck, but have switched to Zacian now. Holy trolley! Didn't even know it was prized, but look at that. It just decided to show its face all of a sudden. In any case, I have actually got a change of a game plan here. I want to Terapagos. This is an exclusively single prize attacking deck. So, assuming they don't play Trevenant, which means if I just charge this up, I auto win. Unless, a huge unless they do have Trevenant. Oh my god, they might just be able to want to KO me with Philippe here. Hold on. I think they can. I think it's got an Oko. Oh my god, they just instantly responded with an Oko. Wow, okay. Talk about electrifying. I need to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a very, very brave move here. I'm going to throw Terapagos down. I'm going to get an energy on it and just pass with the Pikachu. We've got the Resolute Heart. That could go a long way. right? That could seriously go a long way. If I could also just find myself a card, a red card would be nice. I don't even want a trolley, bro. If they take out Pikachu and whatever, they win. I have to just try and get a Crispin on his Terapagos, and that's how we do it. But it's not there. Oh my God, this has taken a bit of a turn, hasn't it? If they get boss on Terapagos, it's scary now. All because of Philippe, bro. That Donnie's it's a boss. Oh, wait, no, you can't. No, you can't break unless you got the switch. If you have, I swear to God, if you have retreat switch. Okay. No, they don't. All right, sweet. Okay. All right. Still Crispin. Oh, but they get boss. They win. Oh my God, what's going on? The 2 bosses down. The others are having another bot. They probably only have 3 bosses in the deck, which means they could only really go 1 boss, and that's fine. Okay, we'll go for the Meowth. If you understood me there, you definitely deserve a reward for that. Will I be giving it to you? No, I won't be. I'm just going to be crown opening, bro. That's all I'm doing right now. What I was meaning to say is I doubt they have the boss to get both of these Donnies. I'm betting they only play 3 bosses. They've already played 2. So with a water and a grass, Crown Opal could get us there. That said, they could also Fezandipiti. They could Cruel Arrow if they recognize the game plan. But for now, Crown Opal is going to be our way of hopefully surviving in the hopes that they don't play 4 bosses orders, which is a gamble. It's very rare to see a deck play quad boss unless it really needs it, like Canard Chaladon or something. And yes, they technically could also just be insta-striking to poke 30 to the bench that way. But by that point, I've won the game. So let's just say I'm feeling pretty good here. Plus, this Crown Opal, if it keeps going, in the meantime, I could just charge up a Pikachu, no? I could just charge up a Pikachu and then eventually get a win that way. I could boss him, to be honest with you, and just take out this Zacian. I could do that. But my boss count's fine. I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. I was going to say I could just keep hitting the Crown Opal and then boss for game, but let's just get rid of the threat. And this is why we need these other attackers. This is such a big deal now. Although we've technically turned into a newer version of Terrabox, blended with Joltik Box, it's just working. And it still includes Pikachu and allows you to have access to it. So it has to be the best way to play it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. I say unfortunately, like I've not dramatically buffed the deck right now. I may have found, hopefully, the best way you can play Pikachu EX in this current format, which is the goal, right? So we'll take that. As they do go for a Fez here, they did also grab an Ursaluna, which they will be benching. They probably have 1 more boss to work with. A Snorlax coming through as well. And there's a Philippe, which again isn't doing much. But this is just showing the power of Crown Opal. It's as simple as that. Wait, how could I forget? It's non-colorless Pokemon. I should have KO'd Snorlax. Oh my God. What am I doing? I've just thrown the game. Okay. Panic stations. Recover Night Stretcher, right? Recover Night Stretcher. Recover Terapagos of Night Stretcher. This is what we do. We do this, right? We go for Recycler. We go for a Recycler. We get water, grass, lightning, you. We keep the grass because we could Stretcher again, right? We keep the grass. Let me get you, and then we get no. Then we get grass, right? And then we just go again. We go again. It's fine. We go again. It's fine. It's okay. A little scared. We got Resolute Heart to work with, right? That Resolute Heart ability. Although, then they could just ask him for game. Oh, what am I doing? I could have also taken a care of Pikachu and then Crispin afterwards. Wait, should I have done that? They've got boss for K. I've just been embarrassed here. I've absolutely embarrassed myself. Oh, that was so winnable. If I just carried the Snorlax... Well, it's going to go down on the record. But come on, cut me some slack. That was winnable. That was all me. That was not the deck list. But we'll just get to another game. Let's forget about it. Oh, we've got a grass deck, Dewey. Let's see how this pans out. The Venusaur can be a problem. I've beaten Mega Venusaur before, though. Although Venusaur does escape our damage output of 350, given it has 380 HP, we still have Resolute Heart to rely on, which is something this deck really struggles to navigate. So that could be pretty good as well. Let's see what happens. As they do get a Teal Dance and an attachment off. And yes, I'm playing like I have forgotten the Zacian game happened. Look, listen, all right, we're moving on from that one swiftly. That was all me, baby. That was a Sean special, wasn't it? Let's go for a Petrel here and get ourselves the trolley. We've got the energy. That's nice. So that works for me. We'll get you down. And here, I mean, Ogerpon could be... Wellspring could be decent, but we're just not, like, we're going to have to deal with this first, I think. Although I do have boss. Oh, okay. So let's do this and this then. That's got to be the move. and obviously a Latias. Yeah, okay. Also, it'd be kind of good if I get it'd be quite nice to get myself a water energy off this as well. I mean, it's not going to happen, is it? Let's go to retreat. Let's get some energy flowing and jolt in charge. Only the one grass. Okay, well, if that's the case, it's got to go on the Pikachu, innit? This can go here. I can obviously just Crispin the water, but that means I don't get boss. Forest of Vitality coming down, though, as they do get an Ivysaur. An Eyesore, one might say. Yeah, okay. That's as far as my comedy's going today. Bayleaf and Door. That is disgusting. That is awful. Oh, my God. What a hand, bro. Fine, like, you don't get what you need in terms of, like, in huge hands, but you get yourself now. They've got the Venusaur. They've got the Meganium, which is enough to attack with the Ogerpon. And they can get themselves a Meowth if they have Meowth, which they're going to do. I mean, blimey. What a turn. All right, sure thing. Now, the thing is, are you going to bench? You are going to prior. Okay, you're going to do it preemptively. Sure thing. Bit of a cheeky move that. It's better off just holding it. The odds of me hand disrupting you are very low. But hey, that's just me. And I think I will be going for the Pikachu here and benching a Magnemite. I need to maximize Resolute Heart here. I think I should have deck checked to make sure I had the energy to get this Wellspring going before committing. But then again, like, I know the Wellspring now is kind of useless. Not fully, to be fair to you. I can, like, trap a Meganium up with Sob and keep sobbing it until I get to a KO with it, but that doesn't seem good. All right, let's figure this out. I definitely just Pikachu KO. That's just what I do. Let's first off go for a run errand, though, because I could pop off for something here. There's card. I like that. I don't like anything else, though. I don't like anything else that I've got here, but I'm going to do this. We're going to Crispin. We're going to get Metal and Water. And I'll put the water on the pond like this. We've got the Power Pad for Magneton next turn. So I just go into this, take the KO with Topaz Bolt, and it would be really nice to get a boss KO on the Meowth to get full utility out of Pikachu. Again, taking into account that this deck struggles to break this Resolute Heart ability. So maybe we could just play around Venusaur, to be fair. Or, oh, that's risky. I could Topaz Bolt Venusaur and then try and go for a Wellspring Ogerpon for like onto a basic Pokemon for game. But I feel like they're going to evolve this into Meganium and not give me that opportunity. So I feel like the better move is to just like boss and Topaz Bolt again onto like another Ogerpon. And somehow, if I can get an energy on this, find a way to get the Meowth for game. That might be the move. Meaning maybe I should have committed more to the Kangaskhan with hindsight. Oh, Mega Meganium. Jesus. Okay, hello. If there's anything my opponent's doing very well, it's attack. Well, no, playing. Their deck is on fire. They're drawing everything they need all the time. I have never seen like a turn 3 setup of this in an Ogerpon, like in a Meganium deck. It's disgusting. And this Meganium is a huge threat, especially to Kangaskhan. So, right, well, there's the Jumble Dump. That is Resolute Heart doing its best for us, keeping us in the game. And so long as we have Magneton, we can do something here. So let's do it. Let's go for a Magneton, and let's also attach to Kang, unless I could maybe find. Oh, I have to boss here. This has to be a boss play. I'll attach the Kang. We'll go for the Magneton and get energy back to attack with Pika. Let's do that. It's a shame both of these Pokemon completely avoid my Light Ball, unless. Oh, wait, maybe this is where Gravity Mountain actually matters. Wait a second. I'm going to switch into Kang, and I feel like I should run errand here. Oh, do I? Oh, no, oh, wait, does that get me Grav Mountain? But how do I win after that? You know what I mean? Okay, fine, I KO Mega Venusaur. How do I then win? Oh, do you know what? I think I need to cut Zekrom and add Ursaluna, because Ursaluna would have been the win con. Oh, my God. This guarantees the Gravity Mountain to get the KO on Venusaur. Have I just got to do it and then see what happens? I think I just got to. I think I've got to get Gravity Mountain, bro. I've got to get Grav down. It guarantees the KO here. But it's like, what's the follow-up? What's the answer? I don't know. Well, here we are. Gravity Mountain coming in. Bouncing that. Going for Light Ball. That's a 1-hit KO on Venusaur. Exactly. This Pikachu has done so much for us. So I feel like the answer is actually boss Sob Meganium, and hopefully that sticks, and then we could like Crispin the turn afterwards onto Kangaskhan KO it for game. That might have to be the play, but my God, at the end-ish part of this video, we finally see maximum Pikachuage to KO a Mega Venusaur. I don't think I can cut this Gravity. Is it worth? I feel like, I don't know, man. I think we've got to leave the Gravity, bro. But I think I will cut Zekrom. It's just been here the whole time and I've not used it once. Not because I've not prioritized it, but it's just never been here. It's never been needed. And I think Ursaluna has so much more value in this kind of deck than Zekrom, I think. So, because every time I use a Magneton, it's always on Pikachu. It's never on Zekrom. So I think it's got to be an Ursaluna, because right now I could be like, oh yeah, I'll just Ursaluna boss for game after this. But now I'm like, what do I do? I've got a Crispin. I've got to find another way to charge up a Pokemon. Oh, well, okay. Well, if they don't evolve this, I have game. Not even then. You have to have a Venusaur here. Did they get Venusaur? Oh, I just win with Ogerpon. Okay. I think this is the penultimate game showing you this deck used in full utility. We got the Grav Mountain. We got the Ogerpon. I mean, this is the ultimate Pikachu deck. I think a few more tweaks and we have it. We have the final list. Wow. Okay. Right. Let's go for the stretcher. My opponent definitely played themselves here. I can't lie, but I still think I had the boss Sob play. Should I play the boss Sob play out just to see how it would have panned out? Oh, that could be a good idea for testing. Oh, I'm going to do this. This is actually... Look, I know I've got the game. We can agree that this is a win. I'm going to log it as a win because I recognize that I win with this. They might see this as BM, but I want to play my lines. I want to test this deck properly here and say in the scenario that they didn't misplay and they didn't bench the Venusaur, could I still win? I don't want this win to be based on my opponent's misplay. I want it to be based on my deck. So we're going to log this game as an official win, but I want to see if we could have done it without their misplay. I won't normally do this during testing because I want every game to be open and fair, because not only do I misplay, my opponent will misplay too. That's a part of the game. But just for this specific game and this situation, was this deck able to cross the finishing line even if my opponent didn't misplay? Let's see. They do attach them again and they do Mirrored Leaf Shower. Air Balloon won't do it. They would need a switch. A Teal Dance does come in as well. And I can't lie, I'm feeling pretty confident. I think we're going to get there as they judge. Oh, judge. Oh, that could be a problem. Oh, that could be a huge problem. They pass. Oh, see, this is where it gets interesting. I think I attach and then Sob again? Yes, because then I could boss Torrential Pump afterwards. Okay, look, I know this is BM. I know, right? For my opponent, and I apologize, but I just want to see how this deck played if my opponent didn't misplay. Because I Sob here, they can Solar Beam me for 140, but then I just boss it to the bench and then snipe it for 120 with the Torrential Pump. They do Lily, though, unless they have a switch. If they have a switch, then it is GG. But they don't. They conceded. Oh, come on. You could have let me play it out. But they know that I had game, I think. So I think they're just recognizing that I'm probably BMing them. And as we approach the final deck list, we get a win against a Matang deck, a win against Mega Stormy Frostlass, and a loss to a Beedrill deck, resulting in the final testing record of 14 wins and 6 losses. So with that result, let's make the final changes, as I'm going to cut a Zekrom out and add an Ursaluna in its place. And I will be cutting one Lily for a Colress. This turns Meowth and its last-ditch catch ability into a find for Gravity Mountain, which might be relevant as we have seen, or is an additional out to a stadium in the case that we have Watchtower lock, which then results in the final list you can see on screen. Is there more that can be done? 100%. You could go down to a third Ultra Ball, throw in a Mega Signal if you want to, although again, this is a lot more reliant on Meowth. So you could drop a Meowth, go to 3 Petrel, whatever you want to do. That is really what the spirit of this is all about when trying to find the ultimate list. But it's all fun and games at the end of the day, and that's why I do this. So do leave a like if you did enjoy and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next deep dive or tournament video. Until then, bye-bye.